Toni. I think everybody was shocked when we found out that these two actually got married. I know, like, there's a lot of things we will do in order to pay our bills, but I never thought the relationship between Toni and Birdman was genuine. I just knew that he was just willing to go broke behind her. It just never fit. And so apparently in August of last year in 2024, they had a secret wedding. Finally got married in secret, even though everything else was public. And then she went and tried to annul the marriage 2 weeks later because she realized she had stuff.
Okay, y'all, this right here might just be one of the wildest celebrity love stories ever. And honestly, I've got to agree with Tasha K on this one, because none of it makes sense. You mean to tell me that Toni Braxton, the living legend herself, actually went through with marrying Birdman, only to turn around and file for divorce 2 days later? Like, come on now, this is the kind of drama Toni usually avoids like the plague. And apparently, Birdman isn't too thrilled either. Let's not forget, this man kept postponing their wedding for over 6 years while Toni waited patiently, playing her cards right the whole time. But when the moment finally came, and the two tied the knot, Sis made sure to secure the bag. And now, Birdman is allegedly facing a massive payout from his reported $160 million fortune. Phew, I bet he didn't see that coming, especially since he's got a history of playing other artists, like Lil Wayne, out of their money. But here's the real question everyone's asking. Why did Toni file for divorce so fast? Well, first off, you've got to remember that Toni and Birdman go way back, like almost 20 years back. They've always claimed to be just friends, but let's be honest, there's no way that kind of friendship stayed completely innocent all these years. Whatever went down between them must have been big, because 2 days after saying, "I do," Toni said, "I don't." And for someone as poised and private as Toni, that speaks volumes. Something tells me this story is just getting started, and when the full truth comes out, it's going to be messy.
You know, me and him have been friends for 16 years.
I know you had a song like 15 years ago,
Yeah,
too,
we've
right?
been like besties for a long time.
People always say that. But
No, this is real. Like, no cross the line.
besties, like you always kept in touch and you always talked.
We would keep in touch. He would come see me when I had my plays, when I had my baby shower. He would come. Like, we were really friends.
Toni made it clear that she and Birdman never crossed any lines before they officially started dating. Everything was clean until it got real. But here's where it gets interesting. Birdman, who's usually super private about his love life, had everybody shocked when rumors started flying in 2016 that he and Toni were more than friends. Then, by 2017, people were whispering that they might have even eloped. Of course, both of them denied it. Toni said it wasn't true. Birdman said the same, claiming they were just hanging out, keeping things cool, casual, and low-key. You know, the kind of chill vibe you have with your situationship when no one's ready to label it just yet.
What you was at the awards last night?
Yeah, I was out there.
Working?
I'm not there.
And you were with Toni, which kind of felt like some sort of announcement.
I want to look at it as an announcement, not for me, on my behalf. You know, I just wanted to come. Me and T just went to the awards, check it out. What's the big deal?
It is a big deal. You know why it's a big deal? Because it's Birdman and Toni Braxton. And also because, we don't see you, like, in a relationship. We talked about this last time when
I've always been off the radar, because I think, me personally, I always felt your personal life don't have nothing to do with conflict with your entertainment life.
But then, a blind item started making rounds online and had everyone convinced that Toni and Birdman were definitely a thing. It read, this former A-plus list aging singer from a famous singing family dumped her longtime boyfriend because she needed to take care of her family and pay off her massive debt. So instead of choosing love, she sold herself to the highest bidder, a man living on borrowed time because of all the people out to get him. And honestly, that description fits Toni Braxton to a T. Remember, she filed for bankruptcy twice, the second time in 2010 after being forced to cancel her Las Vegas residency due to her lupus diagnosis. Toni has openly shared how she's carried the financial weight of her family for years, often expected to foot the bills for her sisters. When she spoke about Birdman, Toni admitted their relationship felt easy. She said it was comforting to have someone who told her it was okay to be sick, that she didn't always have to be Wonder Woman. Lupus took a huge toll on her, both physically and emotionally, and Birdman gave her space to just be. I've always struggled with dating because I was ashamed of having lupus, Toni confessed. I worried no one would want to care for a woman dealing with that. I used to feel insecure. But with him, I can throw on a hat, a little lipstick, some mascara, and just relax. I can finally let my hair down, and it feels amazing.
People don't know 2016 November when I was on tour October. I was really sick. I don't mean kind of sick. I mean like really.
From
really
lupus?
Sick.
Or
Yeah, I had a
from-
really bad flare, and I was on tour. And every day I was on tour, he was there with me. If he left out, he would come back.
And this is before anybody knew or you
We
guys
weren't
were
anything. It was
even,
buddies. It was
Right.
nothing. Not even a day. He was my friend. And he was there. I don't know if
he
you ever.
already loved you. He's there every day taking care of you.
But you know, he really was there every day. My buddy, my friend. You all right? You good? I'm cheering good. You know, he was just there as my
cheering.
friend. I'm cheering good. Big Mama good. He was there every day for the shows. And on my off days, he would go and take care of his business. But he would follow me on the bus and just make sure I was okay. And I don't know if you've ever been really, really sick in your life and you feel kind of hopeless and you got somebody who's a friend that's there. That's kind of, it
means
just
a
made
lot.
me see him differently.
It seemed like Birdman was just as head over heels for Toni, because when he proposed, he did not hold back. He popped the question with a massive rock that could blind you from across the room. Soon after, Toni shared a picture of the two of them, and that stunning ring immediately stole the spotlight. Birdman reportedly dropped around $1 million on that engagement ring, and when he later spoke about Toni on the Wendy Williams show, he couldn't stop gushing. He proudly called her family, making it clear that this wasn't just some casual fling. It was real love, at least at the time.
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust
Because you
her.
bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes,
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
she my life. I love her to death.
But if they were really that in love, what stopped them from walking down the aisle? Toni actually opened up about it, saying she was thrilled at the thought of getting married again. She even told Wendy Williams that they almost had a wedding date locked in. But as always with the Braxtons, a little family drama showed up right on time and put everything on pause.
There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values and we were going to do a little drama. And I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all the sisters together. Yeah, I couldn't get us all together. And I said, the wedding's not a good reason because it's messing up my relationship a little bit. He's like, come on, Michelle, set a date. I know.
That's what he calls you?
He calls me Michelle. Doesn't call me Toni. That's my middle name, Toni Michelle.
They kept pushing that wedding back again and again until, eventually, it was completely off the table. And here's the wild part. Birdman was actually serious about getting married. If it were up to him, they would have tied the knot right then and there. But things took a strange turn when Toni claimed she lost her $1 million engagement ring after leaving it in her luggage on a flight. Now, I don't know how true that story is, but what we do know is that shortly after that, Toni and Birdman announced they were calling it quits. Rumors started flying that the two had secretly got married and were just keeping it quiet, but Toni quickly shut all that down. She confirmed they were never officially husband and wife. After the breakup, she posted a photo of herself in a stunning red dress with the caption, "Starting a new chapter isn't always an easy choice, but always choose to be chosen." Sounds like she was saying a lot without saying too much, right? Even though she tried to play it cool and make the split scene peaceful, behind the scenes it was messy. Word is, Toni wasn't Birdman's only woman. Before Toni came into the picture, Birdman was secretly dating Kimora Lee and allegedly kept funding her lavish lifestyle even after he got with Toni. He even went as far as calling Kimora the love of his life and thanked her publicly for always being there for him. So let's get this straight. Kimora was the love of his life, Toni was family, and Birdman was still out here playing both sides? Yeah, that's a lot, but that's reportedly what caused the real tension between Toni and Birdman. Even after they reunited on stage during one of Toni's Atlanta shows, Kimora was still around, and Birdman was still answering her calls. Sources say the only reason Kimora never went public with him was because she thought he wasn't a good look for her fashionimage.so. When Toni and Birdman finally decided to make it official last year, Birdman was still running after Kimora. Word is, he showed up late to the wedding, and then left early, claiming he had to help someone, and that someone allegedly turned out to be Kimora Lee. He didn't even apologize to Toni for ditching his own wedding early. Honestly, what was Toni doing in all this chaos? A woman of her status, playing these messy games with Birdman was the last thing anyone expected. But Toni wasn't about to stick around forever. She played her cards right, made sure the bag was secure, and then filed for divorce. Allegedly, both of them signed the papers using just their initials, TB and BW, stating that their marriage was irretrievably broken. Neither of them wanted the details getting out, and they've both stayed quiet since. They haven't been spotted wearing wedding rings, and they've wiped all traces of each other from social media. The internet went wild over the news. Fans were shocked that Toni Braxton, a literal legend, ever entertain Birdman in the first place, even if she did walk away with a serious payday. Toni Braxton and Birdman being a couple was one of the wildest plot twists in music history. I'm just gonna pretend that never happened because Toni Braxton, with Birdman, filing for divorce 2 weeks after getting married is insane. What do y'all think about this whole situation? Was Toni playing smart, or did she just get caught up in some messy drama? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because the next cup of tea is even hotter.